It all began 4 months ago in China. In Shanghai, the financial capital of the Far East, Korea's Kibo Bay cashed in, while a young Dutchman, Steve Veilig, burst onto the scene with an unexpected victory. Next stop, Turkey. Stage 2 turned out to be a profitable day at the beach, Konyaaltı Beach, for Russia's Ksenia Perova, and for the Frenchman Jean-Charles Valadon, who withstood a challenge from America's Brady Ellison. Then it was on to America's Rocky Mountain West, the Easton Center, site of Stage 3. And what a sight it was for Olympic gold medalist Chong Hae-jin and her teammate Im Dong-hyun. Another clean sweep for Korea in the sweltering desert heat. Finally, the tour traveled back across the Atlantic to Germany, where yet another Korean archer, Kong Chae-young, set the stage for yet another teammate. This time it was Kim Woo-jin coming out on top, defeating Kim Jong-ho. Now all roads led to Rome, a city evoking the power of a legendary empire and providing the backdrop for world archery's legendary gladiators. 4 Korean women were actually ranked in the top 7 after Berlin, but since each nation can only send 2 archers, Chae Mi-sun and Kong Chae-young would not compete. Deepika Kumari and Alicia Marin would take the final 2 berths and enjoy a Roman holiday. We start with the semifinals, where Tanya Ting of Chinese Taipei would take on Ksenia Perova of the Russian Federation. After 3 sets, Perova had the upper hand, splitting 2 of those sets and winning the other. So Tanya Ting was looking to claim her first set in this match, and she would send a message with a strong opening statement. Perova got the message and answered with an even stronger statement of her own. Typically, Miss Tan would rise to the occasion, but not this time. Her next shot would land in the next time zone. It was a colossal miscue, and Tanya Ting knew it would take more than a Roman legion to rescue her now, especially with Perova pouring it on. Ksenia connecting on another 10 that put Perova 1 step away from moving on to the battle for the gold. Down and discouraged, Ms. Tan went through the formality of her final shot, but she had the look of a woman on her way to the gallows. Ksenia Perova would be her executioner. 10s across the board in the final end, giving Russia's finest a 6-2 decision. 2 of Korea's finest would battle it out for the right to face Perova in the gold medal finals. 2 Olympic champions, Chong Hae-jin and Kibo Bay, taking center stage in Rome for a rematch from Rio, where Ms. Chung emerged victorious. Now she was locked in a close contest that was tied at 4 after 4 sets. An opening 8 could determine her fate. Kibo Bay moved ahead in the set, but it could have been worse for Ms. Chong, who only trailed by 1 and stayed in the hunt with a better result on her next shot. Ms. Key almost surrendered a point, which would have tied this set up, but it stayed inside the 9 line, and she was able to cling to her lead. Chong Hae-jin was desperate for a big shot and came through in the clutch. Still, the outcome would be decided by Kibo Bay, who had to have a clutch shot of her own. A 9 would tie, but a 10 would win. Key connects, and it's curtains for Chong Hae-jin. Kibo Bay wins the set by a single point and takes the match 6-4. No time for regrets. Chong Hae-jin must come right back for the bronze medal match, a test of her mental fortitude as much as her immense talent and formidable skills. She would need all that to vanquish Tanya Ting, who had plenty of motivation after failing to win a single set in her semifinal loss to Ksenia Perova. In this bronze medal match, she would finally break through, taking the third set to tie the match at 3 apiece. But now heading to the 5th set, she was down a point and could not afford a split. Backed against a wall, Tanya Ting needed more than 9, especially since Chong Hae-jin just had to pick up one more point to reserve a spot on the podium. Ms. Tan continued drifting left, but would be spared by Ms. Chong, who could afford to play it safe with conservative shots. Now tied at 18 in the 5th set, Tanya Ting just could not find the 10 ring. She had put her opponent in the enviable position of having to merely land her final shot inside one of the 2 yellow rings. Consider it done. Point, set, match. Korea's Chong Hae-jin stakes her claim on the bronze medal in Rome, just a year after winning the gold medal at the 2016 Summer Games in Rio. Quite a year for Ms. Chong, who also won gold in Salt Lake City and silver in Shanghai. Of course, Kibo Bae was the Olympic champion in London during the Summer Games of 2012. Since then, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for this Korean icon. Some ups and some downs for Ms. Ki, including a summer when she did not qualify for her national team. And yet, here she was, older and wiser, trying to defend the gold medal she'd won the year before at the finals in Denmark. Standing in her way, Russia's Ksenia Perova, a powerful and very worthy challenger who was fresh off her convincing win over Tanya Ting. Down by 2 after 2 sets, Perova would open the 3rd set with an arrow that veered off to the right. Acceptable, but not what she had in mind. Not when one is shooting against an icon who most often takes advantage of situations like this. Advantage Kibo Bae. Perova had a pounding headache that just kept getting worse. She dropped from a 9 to an 8, putting her in an even more precarious position. For Kibo Bae, though, it was just like a day at the park. Without batting an eye, she drilled another 10 that spoke volumes about her talent, her experience, her composure. Perova finally pulled things together and scored 10 points in her final shot of the set, but she knew how the game's played, and you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. Kibo Bae's just got too much in her arsenal. She wraps up the set and moves one step closer to the treasure. Her classic style, so fitting for this setting in a city whose art and architecture and culture have influenced the world for thousands of years. On to the 5th set, where Perova's focus had to be on one step at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and she could not reduce this deficit with just one arrow. The thing is, Kibo Bae would not cooperate. Kibo Bae did not want to give Ksenia even the slightest crack to squeeze back into this match. The pressure for Perova to shoot 10s becoming almost too much to bear. The harder she tried, the more she fell short. Ki could have widened the gap, but settled for a 1-point lead with 1 left to shoot. Ksenia Perova simply appeared to be wearing down, physically and psychologically, well aware of Ms. Ki's history of closing out matches. Needing just 7 to win, Kibo Bae went 3 better. What a way to finish. Dead center. An exclamation point on a command performance for the woman who now has won 3 World Cup finals and is engaged to be married come November. Her husband-to-be watching his wife-to-be bask in the glow of a standing ovation from the crowd at Stadio de Marmi. It was vintage Kibo Bay, the stuff legends are made of. Thumbs up for this gladiator who fought off all comers in Rome. I'm so happy because I won last year and again this year, and my family is here to support me. So it's great to reward them with this victory.
The anchor point is the contact between your finger and your jaw, and the string and your chin. If your anchor point is not in a fixed position, then the arrow will point in a different direction and won't go in the middle. So it has to be a consistent and fixed position. Everybody has a different size and different shape face, so the anchor point is going to be in a slightly different position. So Crispin, for example, has a string on the side of his chin, but his finger is along the jaw, and the string is touching the center of his nose and his lips.
Naomi's anchor point is slightly different than mine. You can see that her finger still runs along her jaw, but her string is now in the front of her chin, but it still runs along the lips and the tip of the nose. The anchor point is very important for a recurve shooter because it aligns your arrows perfectly towards the target. Keeping a fixed anchor point on the tip of your nose will ensure that your bow is vertical and gives you a better chance of hitting the target if your bow is tipped to the left or to the right, resulting in arrows that will fly to the left or to the right. When you're at full draw, you can see your sight pin and your string at the same time. Pick a reference point on your equipment to align your string with for maximum consistency. The anchor point is the most important part for success in recurve archery.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend us your spears, or arrows as the case may be. 7 archers in the field had come to bury Kim Woo-jin, not to praise him. Such is life for the man ranked #1 on the World Cup Tour by a wide margin over the likes of Im Dong-hyun, Brady Ellison, Jean-Charles, and Chef Vandenberg. Speaking of Ellison and Mr. M, those two met in the semifinals full of Instagram moments. Brady bulling his way back from an early deficit to lead by 2 going to the 5th end. Im Dong-hyun leads off and rings the bell. Ellison accepts the gauntlet tossed his way and responds with an even better shot. The 2-time gold medalist at Stage 3 in Salt Lake keeps attacking. His vision may be impaired, but he can obviously see the 10 ring. Ellison's locked in on the center circle too. He wants to finish off the set and get ready to go for the gold. And everything sets up for that to happen. Mr. Im obliges with a 9 that leaves him in jeopardy. All Ellison needs is a 9 to send Im packing. Call the moving company. Im Dong-hyun's headed for the bronze medal match. Brady Ellison's got a reservation for 2 with the winner of the other semifinal match. And no, it wasn't Chef trying to come up with a recipe to beat Kim Woo-jin. It was the other young Dutchman, Steve Vailich, the gold medalist from Stage 1 in Shanghai. Must not have had the right ingredients. Vailich down by 4 to start the 4th set. It was, though, after all, his first trip to the World Cup finals, and he did well to get this far. But 9s would not cut the mustard against the likes of Kim Woo-jin, who nibbled around the edge of the 10 ring, catching just enough of the line to pick up 10 more points. Try as he might, Vailich kept giving ground. But this time, Mr. Kim could not advance and build on his lead in the set. It mattered not. Steve Weiluch's tank was pretty much on empty at this point. He'd rolled out the red carpet for Mr. Kim, who could have hit the winning shot with his eyes closed. Kim Woo-jin would have his day with destiny, and Brady Ellison. Would lessons learned from his semifinal match with Kim Woo-jin stand Steve Weiluch in good stead in his bronze medal match with Korea's Im Dong-hyun? Time would tell. And so would Mr. Im, who posed just as much a challenge as Mr. Kim. Ranked third on the World Cup charts, Im Dong-hyun had tasted success at the finals in 2008 and 2010, winning gold in Lausanne, silver in Edinburgh. He got off to a good start, taking the first set, so the first shot of the second belonged to Mr. Weiluch, who was coached by the highly respected Ron van der Hoef. That caught the line for 9, which didn't exactly put a smile on Steve's face. Then again, neither would the next arrow off the bow of Im Dong-hyun. It's a direct hit, and immediately the edge goes to this veteran of so many battles. Weiluch was solid, but needed to come up with more big shots to put some more pressure on his experienced opponent. At this point, he was treading water. With Mr. Im zeroed in, Weiluch was in danger of going under altogether. Weiluch wanted a 10, needed a 10, had to have a 10, but he just could not get a 10. None of the adjustments worked. Weiluch just seemed to be short on luck. For someone so young, he took it all in good stride. Truth be told, though, even he had to admire the craftsmanship displayed by Mr. Im, who ran the table in the second set to gain a 4-point advantage and set himself up for a possible 3-set sweep. It basically boiled down to a matter of survival for Steve Weiluch. Could he break through and take a set from Im Dong-hyun? Could he even split a set, share the points, keep the match going, and make things interesting? His first arrow suggested none of the above. Im Dong-hyun's first shot of the third set seemed to confirm that theory. On the other hand, the Dutchman seemed to have found a home in the red zone, not exactly the most desirable neighborhood, a location where dreams go to die. Just to be sure, Mr. Im kept hammering nails into the coffin. With robotic accuracy, he kept flooding the center circle with one arrow after another. Weiluch would finish strong, taking something positive away from this experience to remember and build on. But he would not come away with a medal. Im Dong-hyun now had a complete set of medals from the World Cup finals. That gold medal won in Lausanne, the silver medal he won in Scotland, and now a bronze from Rome. At long last, it was time for the main event, a heavyweight bout between the favorite, Korea's Kim Woo-jin, #1 in the world, and America's Brady Ellison, the king of the World Cup finals. Ellison had already won medals at 6 finals, 4 of them gold. The man is money this time of year, this time of the season. Could he do it again here in Italy? Tough call. These two had met before at the finals in a gold medal match. It was 2012 in the rain in Tokyo, and Kim Woo-jin had come out on top, Ellison settling for silver. Now, with a raucous crowd packing the stands at Stadio Damonimi, Mr. Kim set the bar high with the opening shot. Brady would have to bear down right from the get-go. His first attempt? Just a bit high. Advantage Mr. Kim. His next offering? perhaps an equalizer. But only if Ellison could take advantage of the opportunity. Even with his coach Mel Nichols talking him through the shot, Brady couldn't get a bead on the 10 ring. Kim Woo-jin still had the upper hand. And Mr. Kim would keep it, putting the first set out of sight, out of reach, putting 2 points on his side of the ledger. Ellison could afford to experiment with his third arrow, but wasn't any closer to where he needed to be. Still, no reason for Brady to panic, and certainly there was no reason for Kim Woo-jin to feel complacent. Both of these men had been in each of these situations before and knew the match was far from decided. On to the second set. Ellison getting the first crack at it this time. Like any sport, a good start builds confidence and gives an athlete something to feed off of. But Brady seemed to be off his game, a rare 8, putting him behind the 8 ball, with Kim Woo-jin queuing up a shot that would let him capitalize on all his good fortune. He was in the driver's seat once again. And once again, Ellison was playing catch-up. With the heat turned up high, the Brady Ellison fans had come to know finally showed up and showed out. He just might be back in business. Then again, maybe not. Kim's shot was called a 10, but scored as a 9. It was tough to tell how much of a lead he had. Ellison couldn't worry about that. His focus had to be on launching a missile that would land in the 10 ring again. Once again, he had the wrong coordinates. And once again, he was vulnerable. All Kim needed was 9, and he'd be just fine. 10, even better. Just like that, the man ranked number 1 in the world had a commanding 4-0 lead. The big difference? Not all that hard to figure out. 4 of Kim's first 6 shots had found the center of the target. Brady had only visited the center circle once, while one of his arrows had actually ventured into the red zone. So the Olympic bronze medalist in Rio suddenly found himself in dire straits and pressing. Ellison's predicament going from bad to worse after another 8 that had the wheels turning in his mind. On the other hand, Kim Woo-jin had clear eyes, clear mind. He was 1 with his target and 2 up on Ellison in what could be the final set. Time for Brady to bear down even more. At full draw for what seemed an eternity, he would wait till there were 5 seconds on the clock before releasing another rocket headed for the promised land. Bingo! Would that break the ice for Brady? And if it did, would it be too late? Kim Woo-jin was a man on a mission and didn't appear interested in loosening his grip on the set or the match. Back-to-back daggers put him on the doorstep of his second win in a World Cup Finals gold medal match. By now, Brady could only offer token resistance. This wasn't his first rodeo, and he knew Kim Woo-jin shoots winning shots in his sleep. Here in Italy, Mr. Kim was totally conscious and well aware of what needed to be done. He finished with a flourish, completing a straight set sweep to earn the gold medal. Few expected this to be a one-sided affair, but Kim Woo-jin was just that good. The day belonged to him, along with the 2017 finals, proving to be a testament to Mr. Kim's domination. In his 3 matches on the road to victory, matches against David Pasqualucci, Steve Vailich, and Brady Ellison, Kim Woo-jin needed to shoot 10 sets, just 1 more than was required. And he only surrendered 1 point, splitting the only set he did not win. It was a performance that will never be forgotten. A performance that was the crowning achievement in yet another amazing showing by the Koreans, who captured 5 of the 7 medals up for grabs in recurve at the 2017 World Cup Finals in Rome. It was indeed a Roman spectacle. Since I was shooting against Brady Ellison, I was feeling nervous. But in the end, I think those nervous feelings helped me. I was able to focus more and shoot better.
더 좋은 경기를 할 수 있었던 것 같아요.